Okay, can you hear me now? So I can see Alison, Diana and Marcia so far. Hi Basma. Hi Caroline. Marcia's saying yes. Hi Yolandi. Hi all. Alison. Hi to all my ScanNCut friends. Hearing you. Diana's saying yes. Leslie can hear me. Oh, brill. Right. Okay, that's fine. So I'm just tinkering around with the last few things and then we'll see what everyone's been up to today. So tell me what you're all up to. Hi, Sonia. Right, just give me 1 minute and I'll see if I can find me. Alison, you can hear me, that's fine. Okay, here I am. Wow, I'm looking a bit old. Dear me. Hi, Vicky. Manitoba. Okay. I can see Eleanor. Sonia's saying I sound great. Marcia's saying enjoying the fall weather. I'm looking up there because I've got comments coming through on my computer up there, and I'm looking down here because I've got my phone on as well, just in case something goes horribly wrong, and then at least I can see what's going on. Marcia, yeah, hi. Sonia's saying sound good. Just finishing moving into new craft room. Oh, wow, Leslie. Caroline, FaceTiming with a friend this afternoon to make cards. Oh, that's nice. How lovely is that? I've just read Marcia's comment. You're a kid I'm 81. Bless you. I'm not really. Hi, Alice. You missed me last Sunday. Yeah, sorry. Life just got in the way, I'm afraid, last week. I think I did go on Monday, though, didn't I? Oh, do you know, all the days are all blending into one. It's awful. I think did I go on live on Monday and do something? Can't remember. To kind of make up for it. Sonia's saying I love your videos and learn so much. Oh, thank you, Sonia. Cindy from I Can't Hear or See You. Okay. Maybe if somebody can type to Cindy to go out and come back in, because I'm watching it on my phone as well, and I can see it, and everyone else is saying they can hear me fine. Oh, Vicky's saying I found a Stampin' Up demonstrator near me but haven't contacted yet. Oh, wow, great. Well, get in touch with her and see what she's up to with COVID. I don't know whether people are doing in-person classes at the moment or whether, you know, she'll just be able to support you by phone call or email. I can't remember where you are, Vicky. I want to say Canada or somewhere like that, and I've got a shocking memory. So, Miss Monday time. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Ashley and everyone. So looking forward to this. Diana Pierce says yes, that's okay. I'm 65. Yes, you did, but missed it on Monday. Oh, I did do it on Monday. I thought I did. Oh, do you know? My friend lives near Vancouver, British Columbia, and I live on the other side of the province. COVID has created another blessing. I know, it's awful, isn't it? It really is. And they're talking about in the UK us going back into another one for 2 weeks. So who knows what's going to happen. Thanks, Alison, for putting that message. Hi, Dawn. Right, I'll give it a couple more minutes. So this, I know I've done Manitoba, New Winnipeg, yes, Canada. I thought it was, but I couldn't remember for sure. What was I going to say then? Oh yeah, so I know I've done text on path before, but this was a request by Trudy that I think it was tags she'd seen, oval tags with the greeting written, and she wanted to know how to do it. And she did ask me a few weeks ago. It's in my email somewhere, and I forgot to look when it was. So if Trudy's on here, this is for you. And if Trudy's not on here, I'm hoping that you'll maybe watch it on the replay and hope it helps you. Maria is in Caerphilly. Christine is saying, oh, excuse me, I got a shiver then. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Charmaine from South Africa. Alison saying you're welcome. That's lovely. That's for putting the comment. So do we know if she's gone out and come back in? Was it Cindy? I have to wait and see whether she can get back in. So are you all hearing me okay? Or is it too quiet or too loud? Because the volume was up on my keyboard and I've turned it down and I can't remember where it was, where I normally have it. Okay, so everything's looking okay. So I'm going to... Okay, so this is in the thumbnail. Hopefully you'll see it without the glare. And this was the kind of thing that Trudy, I'm getting thumbs up, sounds fine. Hi all, yes, just right. Okay, so the volume's fine. All right, fab. So this was the kind of thing that Trudy had, everyone's saying loud and clear now, can hear fine, sounds fine. Great. I love it when I ask a question and you all literally all reply to me. It's brilliant. Hi, Philippa. This is the highlight of my day. Oh, Alice, thank you. I'm here and everything is good. Oh, brilliant, Cindy. Well done. Sounds good on the big screen. Oh no, I hate being on a big screen TV. Right. So let me get this so you can see it. So this was kind of roughly a picture of what Trudy sent me and wanted to know how to make it. So I'm going to show how I did this one and give you a few tips, but I'm also going to show you something else. So I'm using Canvas Workspace. Right, are we back? I'm back. Okay, so I'm using Canvas Workspace for computer. So Cindy saying I'm here, I've got that. I got Vicky. Hi everyone, yes it's fine here. Love that name, Philippa. Yeah, it is a lovely name. Righty-ho, so let's get going. So, Caroline, it should be back now. So, yeah, okay, it should be back now. I'll wait till you all catch up. Yeah, we're back. That's fine. It was the screen I went to was muted. But yeah, we should be good now. I can see the volume going up and down on this screen. So, great now. Yeah, okay. Hi, Karen. Right, so as I said, Trudy wanted to know how to make the greeting in that kind of oval shape. So I'm going to create it in a circle first. Then I'm going to create it in an oval, and then I'm going to do something else. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to come over to the text icon, and I'm going to left click once on the page in the Canvas for computer so that I get the text box. And I'm just going to type, well, this is the image that she sent me. The words were separated by dots. So hi Thea. So I'm going to type it as she sent it. So it was ... and it was all lowercase. So a gift for you, space ... space Merry Christmas. Okay, and I'm just going to left click once on the page, and I'm just going to go and find a font called Grandma's Garden, which I got from Da Font. I don't know what the font was for the tag that Trudy sent me, but this is a font that I used to have and used to use an awful lot. And then when my Mac computer died earlier on in the year, I had to start again on a new computer, and I've not got all my fonts back. And then I remembered this font over the weekend, so I went and downloaded it and installed it. So I thought it'd be fun to use this because I think it's quite a cute font. So I am going to go to the shapes icon, and I'm going to grab a circle. And for now, I'm just going to leave the circle at the default size that it comes in. And all the shapes on your ScanNCut machine and in ScanNCut Canvas always come in, your basic shapes always come in at 3.94 inches or thereabouts. Hi Ellen, it's fine, don't worry. I don't know why they never round them up to, 4 inches, but they're always this odd size. But anyway, so let me just move my screen over a little bit. So I've got the words typed and I've got a circle. Before I go any further, I'm going to select the words and I'm going to change them to a draw line, because as we know, or anybody that's new might not know, but in Canvas Workspace for computer, anything you bring in comes in automatically as a cut file, and you have to physically tell it whether you want it to cut or draw or pierce or whatever you want to do. So I want these words drawn, so I've selected them and I've assigned them as a draw. When I click on my circle, you'll see that's assigned as a cut, and that's because that's how it comes in. I've just seen hi face, hope you're okay. So now I'm going to select both images or words and image that I've got on my mat. Yolandi, it's called Grandma's Garden. I'll type it on the screen in a few minutes. And it's from dafont.com. Yeah, Grandma's Garden. Yeah, that's it. 3.94 is 10 centimetres. Okay, so that's a rounded number in the centimetres. Okay, that kind of explains it. And I always did wonder why they were not quite the exact inch. Grandma's Garden, yeah. Okay, so I've got the words and I've got the circle. I'm on the Edit tab, and then if I scroll down to the bottom of the Edit tab, under where it says Process Overlap down here, you'll see you've got like your weld and your divide and all those kind of icons that I use a lot. And then here where it says text, you've got this letter T on this kind of arc shape, which is your fit to path. So I'm just going to left click once on that, and it's going to put the words around this circle. Now, I'm not sure how well I think you can see it. I've just had a quick look at what I see, and you'll see that there's a blue kind of plus sign here, and that's the start of the line of text that I typed. So if I grab that plus sign, I can drag these words around this circle. But I can see that the S of Christmas is right next to the A of where I started, a gift for you. And that's obviously not going to look right. Now you've got options. You can use the spacing icon up here, and you can click the up or down arrow depending on whether your letters were too close or too far apart. I find that quite often if I use the spacing, that my Canvas Workspace on computer either freezes or crashes. And because I'm recording, I don't want to tempt fate and do it, so I'm going to do it another way. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click in the middle of the circle, because at the moment this blue bounding box is around all my letters. And what I want to do, I want to be able to get the circle. So I'm going to left click once so that the bounding box now jumps onto the circle. And I'm just going to drag out a corner ever so slightly. And by dragging the circle out, I can adjust how the words sit around this circle. And then if I just left click off, you can see they're more spaced out now. So if I was happy with that, all as you need to do now to make sure that your words stay in this circular shape is, first of all, they need to be selected. And then you need to come down here under where the text fit to path was. And now you see convert to shapes. And when I left click on that, it takes away the path, which was the circle, and it now leaves my words in this circular shape. So if I click away, you'll see I can drag this around, and these are now my words in the back door again, definitely Leslie, only because if I was doing this not with everybody else, I'd probably try and use the spacing, but I have noticed that it tends to crash, and especially when I'm screen sharing, so I don't want it crash unnecessarily. If it crashes for another reason, we'll have to go with it, but I don't want it to crash unnecessarily. I want to try and keep going. So now we've used the convert to shapes. This can be resized now because it's one item, and we've got rid of the path. So I can make it bigger, I can make it smaller, I can do whatever I want with it. And if I come to the edit tab, you'll see the size of it here. So if you wanted to then have that drawn on a circular tag, then obviously you're just going to bring a circle in and you're going to resize your circle until it fits over your words, or shrink your words down until they fit over your circle, whichever way you prefer to do it. So remembering that anything that comes in as a cut line, so the circle's automatically a cut line, and remembering that I assigned the words before I even put them on the path as a draw, this would draw with your pen and this would cut out. So let me just put this on here, and again I can drag this out so it fits into the circle better. I can select both and I can align them here on the vertical and on the horizontal, and that would be a tag. I would group them together, so select everything, right click and make them a group, and then again you can make it smaller or bigger, however you choose. But once you send this over to your machine and you put, say, a piece of card on your mat, and when you put a pen in and tell the machine to draw, it will draw out those words. Then you take the pen out, put your blade back in and tell it to cut, and it will cut the circle. Now, that's okay doing it that way if you don't mind that the words are continuous. So in other words, you can read them the right way around here, but then they kind of start to look upside down here. So that's how you need to then, if you want these words at the bottom to read so they don't look upside down, that's where you need to go on to the next step. So let me just catch up on your comments. So I can see that Karen's saying that's brilliant. Alison's saying, oh, keep getting a shiver, similar to craft artist. Leslie's saying, can you turn Merry Christmas upright? Yeah, going to do that in a minute, Leslie. And then Sonia's saying, oh my goodness, thank you, Ashley. How exciting. I didn't know I could do that. Okay, well, you can do it with any shape, Sonia. I'm just choosing to use a circle. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to stick with Grandma's Garden. If I can, just let me see if I can find my font book. So, can you see my screen? It's here. Grandma's Garden. So it's GRANDMAS Garden. But if you go to dafont.com and you type in Grandma with just the MA on the end, I think it comes up. Okay, so that's the font. So let's come back to Canvas Workspace so I can see what I'm doing. So now, Bonnie's saying awesome. Okay, so I'm going to stick with this font because I like it. So I'm going to come back to the text, and then this time I'm going to type, I'm going to leave the dots out this time. You can leave them in, you can put them out, you can do whatever you want, and then I've got something else to show you in a bit as well. So on this one, we'll leave the dots out. So I'm going to do a gift for you, enter, okay? And because Grandma's Garden was the last font I chose, it's automatically chosen that font for me when I hit enter on my keyboard. I'm going to right click and make a duplicate of that. Just drag the duplicate down here, and then I'm just going to left click on the duplicate to bring the text box back up. And the words are already highlighted. So now I'm just going to change them to Merry Christmas. So I've now got a gift for you and Merry Christmas. And I have to say that the results that you get will vary depending on the length of your words. So when you're doing something that's kind of two separate lines of text, you can see here when I line up a gift for you, it's shorter than the Merry Christmas. And this will affect how the finished fit to path will look, if that makes sense. So I'll do a circle again for now. So I'll just come down to the circles and drag a circle on, and I'm going to leave it at the default size only because it's easier for me to remember. So I'm going to bring down the words. Let's just move them up there out of the way. So I'm just going to bring down the first set of words, a gift for you, and I'm going to select that line of words and the circle. Then again, still on the editing tab, scroll down to the bottom and come to fit to path. Now again, you'll see you always get this blue cross at the beginning of your text. So I'm going to drag that cross around and line my words up on kind of like the top half of the circle. and I'm kind of just guessing roughly, you know, where they're going to be. I don't want them tilted. I want them kind of as level as possible here. If you can see kind of along here, like at where the bottom of the A and the bottom of the U is, just visually. It doesn't really matter, I suppose. Again, you've got options. This text, if you come up here to this middle set of icons, I'll bring this down a bit. Can you see? Oh, let's drag you back out a bit. Right, that's better. Can you see these icons along the top here now? So this middle box here, if I just click on one of the arrows, at the moment it's saying to me that the text is aligned by the bottom of the words on this circle. Now, if I choose middle, it will align the middle of the text to the circle. And if I choose top, it will put the words inside. So again, you've got options with how you play about with this. I'm just trying to, I can see I've missed some comments, so I'll come back and get them in a minute. Yes, better now. Okay, you can see the icons at the top. Fab. Thank you, Vicky. So I think for now, I'm going to leave mine so that the bottom of the letters are just on the outside of the circle. Okay. So did somebody say, why couldn't you flip Mary? So if you select and flip it that way, it's backwards. And if you flip it that way, it's upside down. Is that what you mean? Anyway, let me just go on for a minute and then, so I'm coming back to this. So I'm just going to select this and I'm happy with how a gift for you is looking on this circle. So I'm going to come down and convert to shapes, and that takes the path away, which is the circle, and gives me the words in the arc. And before I go any further, I'm going to change them to a draw. Okay, it doesn't matter whether you make them a draw before you bend them around your shape or after, so long as you do it. If you don't assign them as a draw line, when you send this file over to your machine and you tell the machine to draw, there'll be nothing on your screen. You'll get a blank screen because it can't see that you've assigned the file that you're sending over as a draw. So that's the first part, bent round my circle. So I'm just going to bring another circle back on. I know it's the same size because I brought it in as the default. Now I'm going to bring in the words. And again, it doesn't matter whether your words are over your shape or next to them or above them or below them. It just doesn't matter, so long as when you select what you're wanting to bend, you're selecting both. Okay, so again, I'm going to come to fit to path, and again, I'm just going to drag them around so that they read the right way round, but obviously they're on the top and I want them on the bottom. So if we come back to this middle icon and we say, no, wrong one, sorry, I'm going to leave them where they are. It's not the middle one, it's the end one. So it's path direction. So this time when I click on it, it's at start to end. We want end to start. Okay, so now the words read the right way round, but I want them so that the top of the words line up with the circle. So they're going round the outside, because do you remember this set was going round the top of the circle? So again, that's kind of looking okay, but what I'm going to do before I do anything, I'm going to bring in these words and see how it looks. And if you look at it, this is what I mean by if you're doing it this way with 2 lines of words, that this line of words was longer than this line of words, and therefore it doesn't always necessarily look right. So again, we've got options. We can click on the circle. I'm just going to move this one up out of the way. So I'm going to select the circle and I'm just going to drag it in ever so slightly and just see how it affects my text. Can you see the text is just moving ever so slightly? Now I'm going to click it again to select my letters, and I get my little blue cross again, and now I can kind of line them up. Then I'm going to bring this one in and see how this is going to look. So you do have to play around with this, I have to say, and this is why I said at the beginning, if you're doing it in a complete circle, it's easier to deal with. But when you're dealing with 2 lines of text and it's different lengths, then you kind of have to play around with it. So again, I'm going to move. Ooh, I need my screen to catch up now. Sorry, just give me 1 minute. Something odd's happened there. So I'm just going to hit undo and get my text back to normal. And then again, I'm going to play about with this. So I'm going to click the circle. I'm going to try dragging it out and making it bigger. Clicking on the circle to get my words and rotate them round. Now I think that's probably going to be okay. So I'm just going to select this. I'll come back to your comments in a minute and then I'll come to convert to shapes. So now I've got 1/2 of my word and the other half of my word, but as you can see, they're not exactly the same because the 2 lines of text were different. So you could stretch out your shorter words and just see if you can kind of get them to look. Can you see what I mean? They are stretching out. It's a lot easier when your 2 lines of text are similar sizes. But that doesn't look too bad, I suppose. And then you can always, every time I do a live and I click too quick, I bring up all the nodes. So while I'm waiting for for it to come back to normal, I'll read the comments. So Sonia's saying, Ashley, I'm trying to follow your steps, but when I left click on screen, I don't get the text. Not sure what you mean, Sonia. It is those naughty nodes. You're going to have to try the spacing too. Yeah, definitely. Which is kind of what I'm going to come on to next. So this is a way that you can kind of try and do it and line it up. So let's bring another circle on and then let's just drag a circle out and position those. So you can see they don't kind of line up. They kind of look okay, but it's not the greatest, okay? So I'm just going to drag those in and move those out of the way, and I'll just right click and make them a group for now. So now I'm going to try another way. So again, I'm going to choose my text by left clicking the letter T, then left click once on the page to bring the text box up, and we'll try again. So a gift for you, and enter. Then I'm going to just right click and duplicate that. And then I'm going to left click on it again to bring my text box back up. And I'm going to type Merry Christmas. Now I'm going to bring back in my circle. And I'm going to do the bigger letters first. So I'm going to select both, come over here to the bottom of the Edit tab that says Fit Text to Path. I'm going to come over to this icon and choose End to Start so that my letters will read the correct way round, and I'm going to grab the little plus icon and bring it round so that my words are reading correctly, and then I'm going to put them so that the top of the letters lines up on the circle. Now, hold on to your hats and keep your fingers crossed, because I'm going to do the spacing and see if I can condense Merry Christmas down a little. And then before I do this, let me just see what everyone's saying. So Sonia's saying, at the beginning you said to left click on the screen to get the text box. It doesn't work for me. You have to click on the T first, Sonia, to tell the machine it's the text that you want to use. So you left click on the T, which will put a blue box around your text, and then you left click on the screen to get the text box. Okay, so try that, Sonia. And then Barbara's saying, would you fill in the text once in ScanNCut before drawing? No, I would fill it in here, but I've kind of just not got to that stage yet. I just wanted to kind of explain my thought process, if that makes sense. But yeah, I would do it here. So Leslie's saying you have to click on the big T for the text. Oh, so she's helping Sonia out. Brilliant. Right, so I'm coming back to this, okay, and I'm going to try the spacing. So I'm going to hit the down arrow and see whether that brings the letters closer or further apart. And can you see, look, what's happening now? It's trying to freeze. So I'm just going to let it's frozen, so I'm just going to let it keep whirring around, have a quick drink of my water and see if it crashes or if it'll stop whirring. I may have to close the program down and start again, because this is, I don't know why it does it. I don't know if it does it with anybody else. It tends to do it when I'm screen sharing, but it does happen to me when I'm not screen sharing as well. So let me just have a quick drink of my water and then we'll see what happens. Barbara, I would say it's easier to do it while you're in Canvas, while you're working with it. And if you get into the habit of doing it while you're in Canvas, then once you get to your machine, it will automatically fill it. You don't have to turn the fill on. Right, this is definitely not going to let me do anything. So I'm going to have to force quit Canvas. And then I'm going to have to reopen it. So just bear with me a few minutes. So I'm just reopening Canvas because it wouldn't let me do the spacing, okay? So we should be back at the Canvas screen now. So while I'm just let me just see what people are saying. Thanks, I was wondering if it would, yeah, okay. Your face is in the middle of the map. Yeah, because it crashed, Vicky. Yeah, Cindy, because it crashed, okay. You should all be back with my map now. And this is what I said at the beginning. I didn't want to use the spacing because it tends to crash. But basically, if you're trying to use a circle and your two lines of text are different sizes, try and use the spacing to see if you can get it to look right. When you're doing it on your computer, it may or may not crash. I honestly don't know. As I said, when I'm not screen sharing and I go to use the spacing, on some fonts it crashes and on some it doesn't. But invariably it crashes when I'm screen sharing. So that's why I didn't want to go down that route. But what I am going to do now is use an oval, excuse me, because that's the shape that Trudy asked me for originally. And then I've got something else to show you. I've just noticed Ellen's comment saying, you have your water, I'll have a drink of wine. Caroline saying, it's good to see you work through the glitches when I get them. Yeah, I know. They happen to us all. They happen to me, definitely. But more so specifically with that line spacing when I'm screen sharing, but when I'm not as well. And it depends on the font. It's random. Sometimes I can use the spacing and it's perfectly fine, and other times I can't. So, okay, we're going to go back. So for Sonia, I'm left clicking on the big letter T, which is the text icon. So that's telling the program I want to use the text. And then I'm left clicking on the page to bring up the text box. Okay, so a gift for you, enter. And because it crashed, it didn't remember I was using Grandma's Garden. So it's defaulted to Antique Oakland. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to scroll through and I'm going to find my Grandma's Garden and change my text. Then just to make it a bit quicker, I'm going to duplicate that. With the duplicate selected, I'm going to left click on it, which brings back the text box. And I'm just going to change the wording to Merry Christmas. Okay. So now I'm going to come to the shapes, and this time I'm going to choose an oval because that was what I was asked for originally. So I kind of got there in the end, but I just wanted to show you the different kind of process that you might have to work through. Black Tower Rose, I'm a fuzzy, is it just me? Don't know, doesn't look fuzzy to me, but I'm not sure. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring in my Merry Christmas. I'm leaving my oval, which I think is at the 3.94 wide. I'm going to select both. On the Edit tab over here, come down to the bottom and do Fit to Path. And again, I'm going to come over to the last icon, which is the path direction, and do End to Start. And then I'm going to grab that little blue cross and bring it down here. Now, straight away, I can see that the majority of this word is taking up the majority of this oval. So I'm going to click on the oval to select the oval, and I'm going to drag it out to make it bigger. Okay, but I'm going to, the words are still on the inside of the oval and I want them so they're underneath. Okay, so I'm going to select my oval again, shrink it down a little. And I'm just going to leave it like that for now. I'm going to bring in the same oval and select a gift for you and this oval and do Fit to Path. And because I don't have to do anything with these, because all I have to do is drag the words round and get them the right way round. Then I'm going to select one. I'm going to try and make the circles a similar size. So I'm going to select this one and I'm left clicking to get to select the oval. And then I'm going to drag it out and I'm just going to bring it over. I can see the two blue ovals are kind of similar in size, but maybe not exactly the same. So I'm just doing it by eye. That's too big now. Okay, that's going to be fine, I think. So now I'm going to left click in the top circle so I get the words, and I'm just going to scoot these around a bit. So I think that looks okay. So I'm going to left click off the page to deselect and then just drag a box around the top half and convert to shapes. Then I'm going to come to the bottom one and do convert to shapes. Now, they look better in an oval. Before I do anything, I'm going to select them both. I'm going to come up to the top and make them both a drawer. And then this is where I would fill them in. So whoever it was that asked me earlier on, I would just fill them in with a colour. And I know there's bound to be somebody that's going to ask me, where do the pencils come from? It's a Mac thing. If you don't have a Mac, you might not have these pencils. Every time I use the font fill in a video, somebody always asks me where the pencils are from. So I've got a gift for you and I've got Merry Christmas. Now again, if I want to slightly rotate the words, I can use the rotate handle. But to me, I think that kind of looks okay. I can shrink this one down a little bit, you know, to try and play with it. You just have to play around with it. It's a lot easier when you text. If you're using more than one line of text, it's a lot easier when your text is both the same length. So I'm going to select both of them now and make them a group. And all as I'm doing, I'm right clicking and making them a group. Then I'm just going to bring in an oval. I'm going to position it over the top, drag it out till it looks as though it's going to go around my words. I mean, what you can do, once this is a group and you select it, you could stretch it out a little bit if you want, you know, to make it kind of fit your shape. Let me just bring that back up. So basically what I've got now, I've got an oval that's a cut, and I've got words that are set as a drawer, and that they're filled in and they're grouped, and I'm just positioning them onto this oval, and then I would group them both. So select everything. You can do it on the layers tab. You can come onto the layers tab here and come down and group, or you can just right click and group. And then from here, if I come back to the edit tab and scroll to the top, you can see how big this tag is. It's like well over 6.5 inches wide and over 5 inches high. You can resize it down to whatever you want to do. The one I showed you at the beginning, I think was about 3.5 or 4 inches wide. And then from here, you can add another oval and make a matting layer. I'll catch up with your comments in a minute. I can see it flashing by, but I've not read them. So again, if you want to add a matting layer, right click and ungroup them, select your oval, come down on your edit tab to offset, create your outward offset. I think I did 0.24, so just a fraction under 1/4 of an inch. And that was the red layer that's automatically assigned as a cut. That's the red layer that I showed you earlier on. And then these two I'll regroup again, and that was the white layer. So if I just come back to me for 1 minute, that's this, okay? So the offset is this red layer, and the other layer is the white cut layer, and it'd help if I held it up straight, wouldn't it? And the greeting that I wrote with a black pen. And that pen is the little small black pen that you normally get with your ScanNCut machine, you know, that goes in your little tiny pen holder. That's what that's drawn with. Okay, so let me come back to my Canvas screen because I want to show you something else, but I'm just going to scroll back through the comments because I'm sure I've missed a load of comments. So Alice is saying my fit to path worked for the first time, but not now. Okay, fit to path works when you've got both your shapes selected, and it doesn't work once you've done convert to shapes. So if you've then done convert to shapes, it doesn't work. You've got to start again. Oh yeah, I can see. Oh, hi, Creative Concept Crafts. I can see that you're now saying, Alice, you have to select both the text and the box. Alison's saying, oh, not tried that yet. I don't know. I'm missing comments, but how about trying the spacing first in case you crash again? Right, I'm not going to do the spacing at the minute. I want to just go on to something else before I have to finish. Looking good, looking good. It's the canvas that fits to shape irrespective of machine. Fantastic, great to see this, Ashley. Thanks for your utmost patience with us all. It's fine, Barbara, don't worry. Right, so now remembering that this is fit text to path, and you know that I all like to use dingbats. So I'm going to show something else. So I'm going to come to the text icon. So that's just telling the machine I want to use text. And I'm going to left click on my page and I'm going to type some capital letter H. So I'm just going to hold the shift key down and just type H. I don't know how many times. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, about 12 or 13, I'm not sure, and hit enter. And I've got a row of H's in Grandma's Garden because that's the last font I used. But I'm going to come up here to my fonts and I'm going to scroll down, and I am trying to find a font now called, and you'll have to give me a minute, Hello Christmas. Okay, and Hello Christmas again is from Da Font, and the capital letter H gives you Christmas bells. I'm going to get rid of these top two because I don't need them, and I'm going to come over to my basic shapes and I'm going to find a circle. I'm going to leave the circle at the default size. With my row of bells selected, I'm going to come up to where it says cut and change it to a draw. And while I'm here, I'll fill them with black, just so it's all done in one operation. And this is how I would do it. So the person that asked me earlier about would you fill it in on the machine, this is how I would do it. Once I've assigned it a draw, if I think I want to fill it in, I would fill it in here. So now I'm going to select both. I'm still on the edit tab, and I am going to come down to fit to path. Okay. Now I can see that the bells don't fit all around the circle. So again, I've got options. I can left click on the bells, and I can add more bells in here in the text, or I can left click on the circle, which it won't let me do at the minute. Just give me a minute. Right, it won't let me do it, so, oh, I know why, because I've got the, right, let's undo. Let me just go all the way back. Okay, so I'm back here. So I'm going to select both and fit to path. And I can see they don't go all the way around, so I'm going to just now try and click in the middle to see if it will just give me the circle. There you go. It wouldn't do it before, I think, because I'd clicked off and got the letters back. So now the blue bounding box is just around the circle. I'm going to drag the circle in until the bells start to line up with a nice even spacing, and then I'm just going to click to select everything. And that looks fine to me. So from here now, I would just do convert to shapes. And that's got rid of the path, and I've now got a circle of bells, which now I can, it's going to choose all the nodes in a minute, isn't it? I can now resize as big or as small as I want. So if I come to the edit tab and let's see how big it is. So let's make this about 3 3/4 inches or thereabouts. So I'm going to try and zoom in. So can you see I've got all these bells in a circle now? So from here, I'm going to come back to the text icon and left click the text icon and just left click anywhere on the page, and I'm just going to put 2 and what's 2 dots? Is that colon or semicolon? And enter. But because I'm still on this font, it's given me these and I don't want them. I want Grandma's Garden back again. So I've now got 2. I'm going to duplicate and left click to get the box and do from. And then I'm just going to position these roughly side by side. I can line them up here on the edit tab. Let me zoom back out a bit. Can you still see what I'm doing? Yeah, you can. And then I'm just going to drag these in and resize them. And while I've got them here, I'm going to change them to a draw, and I'm going to fill them with black. You can fill them with any colour you want, because at the end of the day, they'll only draw in the colour of the pen you put in the machine. And then I'm going to put this kind of position just over to the left, and I'm going to shrink it down a bit. So then when this draws out, you've got room to put who your gift's to and who's it from. I'm going to come back to the basic shapes. I'm going to come down to the circles, drag a circle on, and then just drag this circle out so it's a little bit bigger. And then my circle is a cut by default. So if I just group these together for now, so right click and group, and then I can bring the 2 together and center them on the vertical and the horizontal. So now, just going to go down a little bit more so you can see and bring my page up. So now I've made another tag. The outside circle will cut. All these bells and the to and from will draw. And that's just using a dingbat. So let me catch up with what you're saying. So Face is saying, I have a 650 cm. Does it have convert to shapes? Face, you have to do this in Canvas Workspace. So it doesn't matter what machine you've got, whether it's a CM, 350, 600, 900, SDX, whatever machine you've got, it doesn't matter, because you're making this cut file in Canvas Workspace for computer, so the PC or Mac version. And then you send this over, and providing you've assigned your bits that are draw and your bits that are cut, your machine will draw and cut it for you. Leslie's saying looks good, looking good. It's the canvas that fits the shape irrespective of the machine. Yeah, great, Leslie, thanks for that. Like I say, I'm missing loads of comments. I'm sorry, because I'm actually just kind of trying to concentrate on what's going on my screen. Hi, Patricia. Patricia's on my Stampin' Up team, and I think Karen's on here. She's on my Stampin' Up team as well. So Patricia's saying, great, thank you so much. Maria's saying, lovely. Ellen, that's fab. Barbara's saying, love this. Love that dingbat font. Maria, the reason that I chose, I don't know, do you mean the Hello Christmas or the Grandma's Garden? Grandma's Garden I love. Like I say, I've used it for years, but I've not had it on my machine for a good while this year, because my other Mac crashed. And while I was looking for something the other day, I remembered and I thought, oh, I'll go and get it and I'll use it on this tag. And then the Hello Christmas, the reason I chose that one was because the shapes are quite simple shapes, and I think they'll work well for drawing. So that's the reason I chose that one. Alison is saying, love it. I think it was the computer. Face is saying, thank you. So I've not seen Trudy on here, and it was Trudy that asked initially for this, but I hope that I've kind of shown you, you know, a few different options. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to get rid of that one, and I'm just going to type the word again, Merry Christmas, and see if we can make the font go closer together before we convert it, as somebody suggested earlier. So I'm going to type Merry Christmas again. To be fair, the reason that I kind of didn't think about doing it this way is because when you look at the word Merry Christmas in Grandma's Garden, it is pretty much close together anyway. But another way that it might work is, so if we duplicate that and then we left click to get the text box and we change this to a gift for you, and then let's go back to our circle and we'll bring in the Merry Christmas, which is the bigger word, and we'll say fit to path. I'll go end to start and bring it round here. And then what I'll do, instead of saying align the top of the text on the outside of the circle, this time I'm going to say in the middle and put it in the middle and see if it has any difference then. So I'm going to bring in another circle, and I'm going to, let me just shrink this down a little bit. Okay, I'm going to bring in these words. I've got the same size circle as I started off with here. I'm going to select both, use the fit to path, and then again, because I've got the words selected, I'm going to drag the little plus so that my words read the right way round. And then I'm going to select them. I'm going to position the two blue circles so they kind of are fitting on top of each other. And if I left click away, that looks better now, doesn't it? Because the top half of the letters, which is the shorter word, are lined up with the bottom of the letters on the circle, and the longer word are moved so that the words sit in the middle of that circle. And if you put the two together, they kind of look better now. So let's move that one out of the way. So I'm going to make this one convert to shape. And then I'm going to do the same with that one, but you can see they were positioned differently. But now, when I put them together, without having to mess about with the spacing, they kind of look a bit better. Let's see if we can nudge them together, and they look better now, don't they? So let's bring in a circle, select the words. I'll catch up with what you're all saying in a minute. I'm going to assign them as a draw line, fill them in with black text, and make them a group. And then I'm going to bring this circle in, make it a bit bigger. This is automatically a cut line. Might need to make that circle a fraction bigger. Select both, center them on the horizontal and on the vertical. That looks better, doesn't it? So without having to mess about with the spacing and my computer crashing, just by positioning the words in a different place on the path gave me a better look, a better finished look. Right, what we're saying. So Caroline's saying, spectacular, Ashley, I have to go. We'll watch the end on replay. We'll really replay the whole thing. It's fine, Caroline. Thank you for being here. Maria's saying, fab session again, thank you. Ellen's saying, much better. Thanks, Ashley. I always learn something new with your lives. A wonderful teacher. Oh, thank you. Bonnie's saying, I like that best. Great tuition again, thank you, Ashley. And Teresa's saying, very difficult. What's very difficult, Teresa? So that looks better, don't you think, without me having to mess with the spacing. But you know, you go and have a play with it. You choose. Everything I've shown you tonight could look absolutely totally different again in another font. You know, if you choose a completely different font than I've chosen, you may get a different effect. But once you know how to use the path functions that, you know, come up at the top of the screen when you're on that fit to path, then you can play around and see what results you get. Right, there's loads of comments I've missed, so sorry, I'm just gonna scroll through and see what I'm missing. Right, what's Leslie saying? Got to go, Ashley. Thank you so much for this session. Have learned such a lot as usual. Take care. Yes, and you, Leslie, and have fun with your new craft room. Bonnie's saying thumbs up. Oh, just dropped me little coaster. Janet is saying, since you did a circle, can you now change to an oval? Once you've put your text on your path, no, you have to start again. You could select, like these words are in a circle here, you could kind of drag them out, but they'll distort your letters. So once you've picked your shape, if you've done convert text to path, then the only way is to keep using the back button and go back, all the way back, and then change. So Teresa's saying the path functions are a hard concept. Yeah, they are. You just have to kind of play around with them, Teresa. Marcia's saying, thank you so much. Followed along on my computer and learned a lot. Oh, great, Marcia. Well done. So at least now, hopefully, if you try it again, you'll be able to, you know, do some more. And like I say, this works with any shape. You could use, you know, any of the shapes that are in here, hearts, make a tag shape and put them on tag shapes. I just chose the circle initially to show you how, when you type the words as a whole line, how they look. And then obviously I wanted to show you the oval because that's what Trudy asked me about. I'm going to give it a go. Brilliant, Face. Let me know how you get on. Yes, Janet, you can drag the shape on the side rather than from the corner. Yeah, but not once you've done convert to shapes, you can't. You've got to keep going back. You can use like the undo button from memory and get back to your circle and then change it. Patricia's saying, yes, it does. Thanks, Ashley. Janet's saying, okay, learning. Is there a way to increase the number of undos? No. Is it something like 25 or something like that? I can't remember. There is a set number from memory. Can't remember how many it is. Teresa's saying, thanks for the tutorial. I'll practice. Okay. So has anybody got any last questions before I go? My voice is going now, so I'm just going to have a quick drink of my water. Oh dear. Ellen's saying, thank you. I've been wondering about this concept. Okay. I mean, I personally would probably type the text in a whole line and just have it going around the circle in a continuance like I showed you right at the beginning. But this is just a way of having text, you know, going the opposite way if you want to do it that way. Alice is saying, I've got it. Sheila's saying, fantastic session. Ashley, thank you. You're welcome. Charlotte's saying, no questions here, makes perfect sense. Brilliant. Bonnie's saying, thank you. Thea is saying, thank you, great tutorial. Alice is saying, can use today for birthday cards. You can use it for anything. If you remember, do you remember the birthday card? I think it was a birthday card I made where I welded the text to a circle. This was using this same feature. I typed the words going around the top of a circle, and then I typed the other words going around the bottom, and then I welded them to a circle. That's a video, I'm sure, on my channel. If it wasn't a live, it's a recorded video. I think it was, I can't remember what I used now. I don't know if it was happy birthday or thank you or something. Anyway, it's on the channel, but this is how I did it. Only instead of making the words a draw, I made them a cut and I welded them to a circle. How do you autofill map with shapes? On the machine, you just have to duplicate as many as you can get to fit and then use the icon that arranges them for you. In Canvas Workspace, again, you just have to duplicate them and align them manually. Sonia's saying, thank you, Ashley. God bless. Everyone be safe. Yes, same to you, Sonia. Thank you. Alice is saying we can use bows we used from a previous video. Anything at all. If it's a dingbat, remember a dingbat is text and this feature is text on path. So you can use any dingbat and try it out. You may get different results, you know, with some rather than others, but that's for you to try out. But as I say, dingbats are text, and that's the kind of clue in the word text on path. Okay. Sue is saying, just a quickie, can you now see thumbnails in Canvas? I can't. I have 64-bit. You can, yes, you can see it. There's a thumbnail viewer, but you have to go to the update that was on Brother Canvas Solutions Centre, and it will tell you whether it works with your Windows. It definitely works on Mac now. When I go to a folder that's on my Mac, I can now see thumbnails of what the cut files were, and it does work with some Windows. But if you go to the Brother Solutions Centre, there's a link to it on my website, applelover53.co.uk. If you go to the ScanNCut section, there's a help and information, and in there there's a direct link to the Solutions Centre. You just choose what country you're in and follow the prompts, you know, go and find the ScanNCut machine and then go and find what model and what operating system you use, and it will tell you in there. I honestly can't remember what Windows it works on and doesn't work on, but yes, it is a feature now certainly in Mac and in some Windows operating systems. Charlotte's saying, I believe it was live and I still haven't made a card. based on your design. Okay. Thanks for this, Ashley. Something new for me to practice, Kim's saying. Face is saying, thanks, got it. Okay. So there's basically no autofill in Canvas Workspace. You can kind of do it on the machine, but you basically just have to put loads of shapes on. Then your machine will tell you the maximum number you can get on your mat. And then you use the icons that are in there that are like shapes that are, some I think are in a horizontal row. And you'll know when you see it, just click on it and it'll arrange what's on your mat for you. Again, I'm sure, I think I've done a video on that, or it might have been I did that in a private lesson for somebody recently. I think I've used the autofill before. Right, anybody else? So, oh, here we go. Vicky's saying, Sue, I have Windows 10 and I get the thumbnails in my file viewer. Sometimes it takes a few seconds for them to show. Okay, so it does work in Windows 10. I remember when I downloaded it for the Mac, I remember vaguely reading that it worked on Windows, but I thought it said it was on certain operating systems, but because I'm not a Windows person, it doesn't just doesn't stay in my memory. And not many things stay in my memory these days at the moment, but at least it's good we've got the feature now, because it was a pain in the butt, wasn't it, having to open a file to see what the file was, you know, if you couldn't remember from the name you've given it. So Sue's saying, thanks, I'll take another look. Thanks for this. I came in late and crept in. It's fine, Sue, don't worry. It's hopefully being recorded, so once I finish the live, it generally takes a bit of a while to render, but it will be up on my channel. And the thumbnail is the picture of the tag that I showed at the beginning, the red and white tag, so you should be able to identify it, and it's in the live playlist. So if you click on the playlist on my channel, there's a live one, and if you click on live, it should be the top video in there. Thank you, Alice, you're welcome. Ellen's saying, well done, Ashley, thanks for all your help. Kathia is saying, oh, I can't even begin to pronounce that, but it's from Peru, and there's a heart, so I'm guessing she likes it. Thanks, Vicky. Perhaps I'm too impatient. Charlotte's saying, this is so much better, and not to mention those machine file names, quite unhelpful. I know, and especially if you give a file name something similar on two files, it was a pain, wasn't it? Right, Hannah has just messaged me to say that she's on her way home. She's been to a golf competition on her own today because I was doing my live at 5 and she was teeing off at about 12:30, 1 o'clock. So she's gone on her own, and I feel totally neglected not being there to watch her. But she's messaged to say she's on her way home and she wants some tea putting on. So I'm going to say goodbye to you all. Thank you all for being here as usual, and it's lovely that you do all continue to support me. Thanks for all the thumbs up. Don't forget to give it a like underneath the video, please. And that helps other people find my channel, and that lets more and more new people who are needing help find my channel, which is always lovely. And I'll hopefully see you all next week. So let me just see the last few comments before I go. Barbara is saying, bye everyone, keep safe. Have to make some tags this week now. Great, Barbara. Well, send me some pictures if you do. And don't forget, my card sketch number 5 is still open until the 25th of September. It's on my blog. You might have to scroll back a few blog posts to find it. But if anybody wants to make a card just for fun made from the sketch and send it me, I pick a name at random and I'll send you a few cards. You know, maybe some cards that I've made in previous tutorials or lives, and I'll just pop them in the post to you as a little thank you. Thanks, Charlotte. She won, thank you. It was a double. She was playing for county. She was playing for county ladies against county seniors, and she messaged me earlier to say that she'd won. Don't know how the whole team went on, but her and her partner had won, so that was nice. And then she's playing in another comp tomorrow. So Diana is saying, thank you. Not sure if it shows thumbnails when opening in Canvas. I can't remember, Vicky, but it definitely shows when you open a file on your computer now, which to me, that's the main thing. Yeah, they do. You have to click on your projects, don't you, when you're in Canvas to show the thumbnails. Peru says, very pretty, hello from Peru. Oh, well, thank you for that, for the translation. Got my sketch done, just have to send it. Okay, Face, well, send it to me. The 25th is this coming week, isn't it? When is it? Let me have a look. It's Friday. So if you've done your card sketch number 5, please send your photos to me by Friday. Then I will do a blog post and I'll draw a name from all the names. There's not many, to be honest, this month, so you've got a good chance of winning. Unless I get a flurry of pictures this week. And last month I drew a name at random and I just sent a little package of cards. I can't remember who won last month, but I've sent them anyway. And I'll just do the same, just as a thank you. Right, I'm going to go. Thanks, everybody. Take care, everybody. Keep safe, everybody, more to the point. And I'll speak to you all soon and hopefully see you all next Sunday. Bye for now.